Okay, time for another video. If you recall, at some point earlier in the year, we had done a little bit of work with rhetoric, right? We can remember, um, if we can remember what rhetoric is all about, right? And we try to define rhetoric, I think, in a few ways. And you definitely can define it in a few ways. A lot of scholarship has gone into kind of defining this concept and providing examples from various writers throughout history to try to get a better understanding of rhetoric as a whole and all of its many parts. And boy, howdy, it can be quite the complex subject matter. I've read some stuff on rhetoric, and it's not always intuitive what the concepts mean, right? But one way to think about rhetoric is the art of persuasion or the art of effective communication. Uh, and we're mainly talking about communication through language, through words, through speech, right? Whether in writing or verbally out loud. You could adopt either of those stances towards the definition of rhetoric. The art of persuasion is something you're going to hear quite a lot, especially in high school. So maybe we should stick to that, plus the art of effective uh, communication through words. So remember these three big ideas, and these are, of course, we derive these terms from Greek. Like so much in our lives and our culture, we owe a lot of it to the Greeks. Logos, ethos, and pathos. This will be on the final exam in some capacity. So remember that logos, it sounds and looks like the word logic. Um, and it really has a similar meaning. If you're writing up some kind of persuasive piece, or you're speaking in a persuasive mode towards an audience for more particular purposes in some setting, logos is going to be all about your argument, all about your reasoning, right? So we could say argument. Can you see that color? Yeah, argument, um, reasoning, you know, facts, data. Um, we can put logic in there. Logic. Uh, when you're concerned about the logos of your writing or of your speech, you need to think about how you're going to appeal to the intelligence of your audience. Are you going to give them facts? What facts are you going to give them? Are you going to withhold presenting certain facts? Are you going to represent those facts well? Is your language going to be smooth as you talk about the data? What's your argument going to be? On what grounds are you drawing your conclusions? On what facts or what data or what solid pieces of information are you drawing conclusions? Intelligent speakers are going to be really trying to assess your argument, assess your facts, assess your reasoning. They want to make sure that what you're saying is sound, that it makes sense, that it's logical, that it's kind of full and multi-dimensional. There's multiple sides. And there's all sorts of work you could do in the realm of logos. I mean, you can literally study logic. You could get a degree. You could write a thesis at the university about logic. And different philosophers or thinkers down the ages have treated that topic in different ways. Aristotle, if we're going to go back to ancient Greece, had things to say about logic that Immanuel Kant, if we're going to jump over to the age of the Enlightenment in Germany, or Prussia or whatever it was at the time, he's going to have different things to say about logic. And then if you move over to the late 1800s or the middle 1800s, and then you have symbolic logic that's starting to be formulated by specific. I mean, there's obviously a ton of work. There's different kinds of arguments, different kinds of fallacious reasoning or logical fallacies. I mean, you could go really deep into this, but just know that logic is really appealing to our sense of is appealing to our intelligence, to our sense of whether or not something it makes sense or is logical, right? Ethos is different. And I hope you all understand that these concepts are very connected, because if ethos is about your credibility, maybe your state of character, your virtue as weighed against your vices, your trustworthiness. Um, well, you're going to enhance your credibility if you're able to provide a good argument, if you're able to present the facts, if you're able to provide good counter arguments, or you're able to represent the other side of the issue or debate fairly and respectfully, right? You're going to, in many people's view, boost your credibility. So ethos, really is about credibility in all its various forms. A lot of times it's about the character of the speaker, character, trust. Is the speaker good? Does he have a way to kind of warm the heart? Can we trust him? Can we invest our money and our time in this person because we can trust that they're going to bring about some good state of affairs for us? You want good ethos. And in the art of rhetoric, there's all sorts of moves you can make within your speech or within your writing that can kind of boost your ethos. And there's also a matter of timeliness, like when and how do you talk about yourself? Do you cite other people talking about you? Like if other people have praised your work, when in your speech or in your general discourse to your audience do you reference those praises that were from other people? These kinds of things. And so moving on to pathos, this really has a lot to do with emotion and feeling, right? What kind of emotional energy can you inspire within the room as you are talking, right? Or what kind of emotions are you going to kind of move in your readers as they kind of digest your writing, right? Are you able to get them riled up at like a political rally and get them feeling, that national pride for being an American or whatever? Can you make them feel sad or woebegone or despairing for some purpose? Can you get them feeling angry? Can you inspire hope? Like these kinds of things work really well. Some speeches or some pieces of writing, when they're trying to persuade you, they might, really try to tickle your emotions or really try to pinch your nerves a little bit without relying on enough logos, right? And it's not always wrong to rely more on pathos, emotion, and feeling than logos. It's conceivable that all you really need is to just get your audience feeling something, and the logic will take care of itself. But a lot of the times, people want to make sure that your pathos is sort of balanced out by your logos. And that way, you're going to establish more ethos, more credibility, and people will be more aware of your expertise of the art and craft of rhetoric, right? So keep in mind, logos is about to appeal to your intelligence, ethos is about to appeal to your credibility, and pathos is about to appeal to your emotions and your feelings. You're going to be asked a question or two about these concepts in some way, shape, or form.